Hello everyone. I was born and brought up in Shillong, Meghalaya, and from there I tagged along with my sister. She got a chance in Jadavpur University. So then I came along with her and I started my schooling from St. Joseph's, Bobazar. After that, I did my engineering from CIM. In my fourth year, I had a discussion with my father regarding my future, like about my career and all. So I already got placed in Infosys, and I was like really happy with whatever the goal was. At that point, the goal was to get a job. We got a job, and that's it. So my father said that, see, what are the plans? What do you have? So I said that I want to join Infosys and everything, and that is how I want to build my career. He said that, see, like I will give you 10 lakhs seed money. You start something of your own. And the moment he said that, I got like super scared. Like, what am I supposed to do with that 10 lakhs? So I said that no, I'm not ready right now. And that fear of starting was there. So I went and joined Infosys. During Infosys time, again, every tea breaks with our friends, we are discussing about how to change the world, all the ideas in the world we had, and all these business ideas. Continuously we were thinking of what to do, how to do. But that fear of starting was still there. We thought that okay, this experience in Infosys is not enough. Let me do an MBA and then try to start something of our own. Then I joined IIM Raipur. Again, like a lot of learning, lot of case studies. But then we realized that this MBA program is not for starting up. It's about how do they make good managers, right? But then what happened is like I met my wife Anusha, and there in IIM Raipur, and she also had that bug of starting something of her own. So we discussed and we worked on lot of business plans, right? And then lot of business plan competition we participated. Few were won also, but none of them were related to fashion. It was all about high tech kind of changing the world kind of ideas. But then at the end, I joined a startup. I thought that okay, this knowledge what I have gained in MBA is not enough to start. So I thought that okay, let me join a startup and then I will start my own. Still, that fear inside never went away. And then I worked in that startup, got a lot of learning about how to operate a startup in a lean manner, in a frugal manner with limited resources. And then my brother, he left his job and he plunged into it, and he said that we'll start this e-commerce consulting firm. And that also how it happened was I was traveling from I think from Kolkata to Delhi. I met one person. He had a shop in Nehru Place, and he was selling mobile adapters and chargers. And then I tried to understand more about his business, like how he does things and all. Then he said that he is selling his products in Snapdeal. So I was very intrigued, there that okay, how is he selling there? Means before that, I used to think that all these marketplaces they sell their own. Like a Flipkart sells all the products on their own, and the concept of seller and marketplace, we did not have an idea about that. But the more I talked to him, I understood that there is a concept of this marketplace and how anybody can sell things online, right? But then we realized that it's not a very easy thing to do. It's kind of difficult because there is a lot of tech and a lot of things which are involved there. So then we discussed this with my brother and he said that okay, let's do it. But still I continued with my startup job and he plunged into it, and that is when I thought that okay, enough is enough. Now let me get into it and then we'll see what happens. So to begin with, we started talking to multiple businesses, how to take them online and things like that. Luckily, we got a few very good clients, and one of them was a manufacturing unit in Noida, and they were selling. They were one of the largest. They were the largest equestrian product makers, horse riding product makers in the world, but their business was completely offline. And when I discussed with the founder of that organization, Mr. Varun Sharma, he was saying that their business is degrowing 4% month on month. right? So they were in a very tricky situation there, and they wanted to do something drastic to pull themselves out of that. And then I told him about the whole thing, that how you can do things in Amazon and stuff like that. And we took them from 0 to $14 million in 3 years. And the business, which was degrowing at -4, it started growing in the range of 25% year on year. So that was something exceptional, and that's the power of online, right? And then simultaneously, Anusha, she was very passionate about the fashion industry. She wanted to do something in the fashion world, but at the same time, how to go about it was, so she had an idea that we'll start a store and then we'll sell through that and all. But it required a lot of capital, right? Then as we had a good understanding about the online space and how to go the e-commerce route, then we decided that we'll start with a brand. Initially, again, no clue about the clothing industry, how to manufacture products. We only heard about things like manufacturing units, MOQs. Large MOQs are there. You can't create a brand like that. So then first thing what we did was we started trading. Means we started procuring products, rebranded it as Berrylush, and then started selling it. Then we realized that that's not going to work, because no control over style, no control over the things that we wanted to do, and no control over the cost. So then we thought that, and by the time we already had a good network of these manufacturers, because we were providing these services to them, right? So one of them, he was a jeans manufacturer. We took them online. They were doing decent business, and he said that to start manufacturing, you don't need much things. You just need like 4 machines, tailor, master, and you can begin. So we took a space, 400 square feet of area, and we took. He provided us with the machines, and we started manufacturing. The first month we manufactured was 900 units. Just to give you a perspective, right now we are manufacturing around 150,000 units per month. So there, when we started with 4 machines, it was something which gave us a lot of control over the product, and that is what that we thought that is what we need. So during the initial stage, the only thing that we were looking for was a product market fit. Basically, the products that we are creating, the price at which we are selling, and the customers, are they delighted by that or not? And in online, to get that understanding, it's very easy, because there are ways in which the customer is communicating with you, right? Like the reviews and ratings are there, the photos and Instagram sharing and all these things, you get a good idea. So we were able to get that product market fit very quickly. So again, to get that, roughly it needs around 1,000 to 2,000 orders, and you will get that idea. Or if it doesn't work, right, so you need to pivot and create change the kind of products that you're making, and try something else. We were lucky enough that the first go only, the wide gap analysis that we did, mainly what Anusha understood was that highly trendy products were not available in India at a price range of less than 1,000. There were brands, but they were above 3,000, and there were sellers selling in marketplaces, but they were not brands but just sellers, right? So the quality and everything had a lot of gap. So that is the gap that we analyzed, and we thought that we should get into that, and that is what we tried to do. And we were lucky enough that the first go it worked out. But the first go it worked out from a product market fit, but the business model was not set. So it was like creation of the brand, the products, then launching it, and then getting the feedback from the customers, and the product market fit is achieved. Then the second, after that, the second stage is getting the right business model in place. That is where we started manufacturing, because we wanted more control over the products and the complete supply chain. Because we wanted to build a fast fashion brand, and we wanted to launch, as many styles as possible every month. Right now, we do around 150 styles on a monthly basis, and we do not have the concept of season. and roughly around 5 styles get launched every day, right? So for that to happen, we needed a complete control over the supply chain, and that is where we build our business model, and we said that this is how we are going to operate. So right now, how we operate, 15% is our own manufacturing, 85% is through job workers. But again, the materials and all is procured by us. So at this stage, the business model is set. We are growing again. Like the growth was super. From 4 crores, we went to 16, from 16 to 32, 32 to 63. And this year we are going to close at around 76 to 78 crores. So as the growth was quite significant, right? So our complete focus was on the top line, but efficiencies were not built in this, like the processes and the systems. And that is when, we implemented ERP through Ginesys, and that is where we were able to focus more on the details, because initial 3-4 years it's all about the top line. It's all about like how much can we sell, because we wanted to build a brand, right? But then at second, after the business model is set, there comes the scaling stage. So you scale the brand as fast as possible, but then in that process you are not efficient enough. So then we have to look at that, how do you build efficiencies in that? And then this is the stage at which we are right now, and we are creating a lot of processes. We are creating a lot of systems, implementing a lot of things. Even ERP, from the day you implement and by the time you actually can utilize it in a full-fledged manner, it takes a lot of time, right? Like you will have a lot of raw data, but that data will not make any sense. That data will only make sense when you are able to refine that data and make sense out of it, and that is where you can take decisions. So today also, when we are looking at our PNL, we still have to wait a period of a month. Like every month we analyze it for the full correctness. Like we get the PNL on everyday basis also, but fully correct data we get only after a month. But that is what we are right now working on, that everyday PNL we can get, every slice and dice we can do, like every category, every price band, every this is what we are focusing on right now, so that we are able to create a continue as a profitable company and continue to scale in that manner, right? And the last stage which we have not reached of a brand is basically when we talk about the reaping the benefits, right? Like how do you sustain the growth? Now when you're looking at our brand, we primarily started with the main brand, which is Berrylush. Then we had a few categories like dresses, tops, coats, jumpsuits. Then we added few more categories, so that is kind of brand extension that we did. Then we launched a sub brand called Berrylush Curve, right? So that was a concept where we launched the products from sizes 2XL to 7XL. That was one of the things that really worked out well for us. To give you a perspective, right now the inventory that we carry of Curve is around 15%, right? But the revenue that it generates for in the website, it's around 35%, right? So it has a lot of even this sub brand is very different from our primary brand from the consumer segment point of view. Like the retention rate is much higher, the loyalty is much higher, the number of line items that people have in every order is much higher. So again, this was like kind of a brand extension that we did, but by creating a sub brand, not a category but a sub brand. Then we got into a category where it was a completely different supply chain, completely different thing, but we thought that it goes well with our brand. So then we launched the bags and accessories category. Now that was again something that we felt there was a gap. Again, it's like a startup within a startup when we launch bags. So we identified the gap that like stylish looking laptop bags were not available for women, right? So means available not at like large number of styles. So we thought that let's get into that, and we started doing that. So again, we had to learn how to like do the manufacturing in the bags category. We did that. First 8 months, it was a very like a highly loss-making thing, and we were, because we had to put in a lot of money in the machineries and things like that, and there was a point where we thought that we'll stop that completely. But then something, is, as an entrepreneur, you don't feel like giving up that easily, right? So we thought that let us give it one more shot, and then we launched few more styles, and then it slowly started picking up quite well. And right now it is breaking even and profitable in itself, and we are doing around 65 lakhs on a monthly basis only from bags category. So that is how, like when you're scaling the brand, ways in which you can extend and utilize the brand value by adding more categories, adding more sub brands, adding more so even one more sub brand that we are we have added recently is called Berrylush Bizwear. So it is mainly targeting the workwear segment. So again, these are the things that you can do once the brand has scaled to a certain level. And when we are looking at when do we start the offline journey, this question comes up many times, like as a brand, as a D2C brand, when do we go omni-channel, when do we start our offline stores? See, there is no right answer to that, like when exactly, but I feel that the moment you can take it as a business, you can take it as an advertising cost rather than something which has to make money for you, or in a sustainable manner, you can get into that. So right now, means the perspective that we have is like, see, a hoarding on a monthly basis in a prime location will cost us like around 2 lakhs a month, say, and that store costs us 2 lakh a month, and that gives us a brand positioning in between, brands which are already established, and it's a much better way of investing rather than a hoarding. So we see that value in that, and that is how we but again, it's a very different business model. It's a very different thing from online, and we are learning. And once that these 6 stores of ours are able to run in a sustainable manner, that is where we'll be adding more stores. But definitely offline is something that really can add value to your brand. So just to give you a perspective, right, like right now offline stores are generating like maybe 2.5% of sales or total revenue, right? But when we launched our first store, second store, third store, the amount, like we used to post it in LinkedIn and all, right? Then people started, from a business perspective, it was nothing, because the significance of the sales was very low because we were just 6 stores. But from the end consumer point of view, and from people who see the brand, they started recognize it as a brand, and they started messaging and congratulating us, on opening the store and all. And to give you a perspective, like all the stores combined, what sales we do in Myntra, half day we do that sales. But from the end customer, it's a very different thing. It's like now the brand has established. Online brands se move okay, they have gone, now it's the brand. So I feel that this is very, very critical, and it's very important, especially for somebody who is trying to create a brand. If you are into trading, obviously you will look at only on profit and loss and things which make sense to you. But if you are trying to create a brand, and that is what the business is all about, like in clothing, see, it's a kind of a commodity at the end of the day, right? Like everybody can make similar products, anybody can copy you, but nobody can copy the brand. Like, see, it takes 7 years, multiple things happened in our journey, and all this permutation combination happened, and then finally a brand like Berrylush is created. Now, somebody to replicate that with money you cannot replicate, or else no acquisitions would happen, right? They would just pump in money and create brands, right? So basically it is very difficult to copy a brand, but copying products is very easy, right? So that is what our thought process is, and that is what we are trying to do here, is that create a brand and eventually become a brand from India, which is global in nature, right? So cross-border sales is something, again, we are evaluating. We will see how to do it, but right now the headroom that we have in India itself is so big that this is something, when we think that the growth will stagnate, or the the rate at which we are growing is lower, then only we'll think about cross-border. But again, from a tech point of view, from a compliance point of view, we are thinking that what are the different things which are required to go cross borders. So we have already started, and basically in one line, that is what we are trying to create. That is a brand from India, global in nature, right? So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask me.